Hello, Sean here from Cloud9 Spain. Welcome along. Today I'm really excited because with me I have a very special guest, Lily Shakil, who's the Chief Operating Officer of Cork Oak Mansion, one of the, I would say, the most exciting developers out there at the moment here on the Costa del Sol. Lily, welcome along. Thank you so much for taking the time out of what I know is a very busy schedule, because you've only been with the company a fairly recent time, haven't you?
That's right.
How's it going? You enjoying yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here today.
Glad to know.
It's always a pleasure to see you. It's
bless
been a
you.
minute. So I joined the company the 1st of August, so very recently, and you're absolutely right. We are very busy.
Fantastic, because you've got quite a heavyweight background in real estate here, because I've known you, God, it feels like, well, it probably is 20 years.
It is 20 years, actually.
And you've worked for some of the big hitters here.
Did.
You've had a really successful career, but you've been exposed to lots of different things, haven't you? So I'm
right.
guessing you didn't jump into this, you know the lay of the land here, don't you? So what made you join them?
Well, first and foremost, it was the concept behind what we're doing. We're not just building houses. We are creating something for the future based on sustainability. But also, we can't forget the art part of it. That's why we're using Fran Silvestre as our main and sole architect. Our philosophy and the way that we present our product, we're not just selling a house, we're not just selling a villa. We sell a piece of art as a sculpture.
Yeah, it's very true, because obviously we have access to all the villas for sale on the Costa del Sol, and some of them are amazing, some of them are a bit copy and paste.
Yeah.
But when I look at your company's designs, I get genuinely excited.
Yeah.
Well, don't get excited about a lot, but I get genuinely excited because they're pieces of art.
They are.
The designs are incredible, and often you're thinking, how does that work? How does that all fit together?
Yeah.
And no doubt Alfredo will put some shots on this video so
Okay.
people can get an idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But each house is completely different, isn't it? What's he
Fran
known for?
Silvestre is one of the renowned architects, a
In the
Spanish
world.
architect in the world. He's his studio and himself. He's from Valencia. So basically, he's been building and creating these masterpieces all around the world, over 40 countries. You could see one of his very known designs in New York, in Shanghai, in Dubai, in Spain eventually, everywhere. So what Fran Silvestre do that other people or other architects don't do? So Fran Silvestre actually gets his inspiration from the surrounding of where the property will be built. So basically, for example, I'm going to talk about our product. Fran Silvestre gets his inspiration from whatever he sees around. And from that point on, he will create a piece specifically for that. So, for example, probably you know the Z Villa.
Yes, which
That-
is sold.
it is
I really
sold.
wanted to buy that. I didn't have anywhere near the money.
We can sell you another
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So the Z Villa is the way that he actually created the design for this one is to make sure that from each point of or corner of the property you would see certain design and certain form.
Wow.
It's like looking at a sculpture.
Yeah.
So wherever you are in front of that sculpture, you will see something different. And that is what Fran Silvestre does. Also, he's very known for his way of combining the lights and the shapes.
Okay.
So it's quite complex, but it's very simple. If you have an eye for beautiful things and for architecture and art, you can understand easily his work.
So he didn't just wake up one day and think, I'm going to design a villa like a Z.
No.
No. There's a lot more
Absolutely
to
not.
it than that, isn't
There
there?
is a lot more to it than that. Of course, the client has an input on the design eventually. For example, right now he's building for me, it's one of the most incredible designs. And when you look at it, you say, where is the house? Is the Sphinx villa?
Which you
And
just
it
gave
is.
me a sneaky
I just
look
gave
at,
you a
and
sneak peek. I'm
wow.
not going to go too much deep
No,
into
no,
that
no.
one. But it's it's just when you look at it, you say, okay, what is this?
What's
Is this a
happening?
tower? Is this a villa? Is this a house? Is this a light?
I've still got visions
So,
of it, thinking, how's that? How does that work?
Yeah,
But
We
but
can
incredible.
We can share with you some of his work, and
Yeah.
you can have a look at some
It's-
wonderful pieces.
It's lovely being in this business, as I'm sure you'll appreciate. You
Yeah.
do see a lot of stuff that's the same. So when you come across an architect and a company that's embracing that kind of design,
Absolutely.
and what I like about you guys, without going overboard, is that you're going for it. You're not
We're not scared.
You're not scared. Exactly. You're not scared of doing this. Okay, it's not
Yeah.
going to be for everyone. Some people
Yeah.
will look at it like I did and go, "What? How is that a house?"
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there will be people out there who just say, "I've got to have that."
Yeah, I mean, we are specialized in luxury.
Yeah.
And you know what luxury means? It has to be exclusive. So basically, if you bring that piece of luxury as exclusive product, in this case, house or a villa, well, there is nothing more exclusive than having a one piece that is not going to be replicated anywhere else.
So that's where the piece of art kind of analogy
That's
comes
it.
in.
That's
It's
it.
absolutely right, because you do, as I say, we'll have these on the video, the shots of these houses. They do look like works of art.
They are actually. When you look at it, because we do have other shots, or I would say, I forgot the name actually, the name in English, maquetas.
Yep. Yeah. So like the models.
The
yeah.
models. So when you look at it and you put the light in as or simulate the sun, you would see what we were talking about. That's why we do our models. They're not the same as any other architect.
Yeah.
Our models are plain white
Yeah.
because we want the client to see what we are talking about. It's like a sculpture again. When you look at a sculpture, depending on the day, time of the lights, etc., you will see a different shape, and the light will keep going around.
Tell me about Cork Oak Mansion. So we know that you guys have a very good, solid partnership with Fran Silvestre.
Correct.
What about the developers? Who's behind that? What's the story?
So the owner of the company is Pedro González Armas. He's actually a lawyer by education, but he's been building properties for, I would say, a good amount of 30, 35 years.
wow. Okay.
So Cork Oak Mansion, the name Cork Oak Mansion is the commercialized name of DUS, Desarrollos Inmobiliarios, which is the company behind
Okay.
everything. So DUS has been existing, as I said, for over 30 years. They started developing in León. That's where the owner is from. So he built and sold over, I would say, a good amount of 300-400 properties back then. Why Soto Grande and why now? So Pedro, after a successful career in building properties and selling in León, he decided to retire. So
Good for
he
him.
retired.
Pedro, you deserve it.
I know. He retired and he spent, I don't know how many years traveling the world and just enjoying himself. And then when he was done, eventually, he was living in Soto Grande. He started thinking, okay, well, maybe it's time. It was too soon to retire.
Yeah.
Maybe I still need to do something and change this way of building. And of course, with Fran Silvestre came the idea of starting building Fran Silvestre's houses.
Okay.
So, nowadays, in the last 5-6 years, everybody's going into branded residences.
Yep.
It's became the thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's fine, it's perfect, it's great, it's working, it's fantastic. However, we wanted something different. So that difference was created with Fran Silvestre. So I could easily say and proudly say, Fran Silvestre is our brand.
He's a brand. Yeah.
He is a
absolutely,
brand. And
absolutely.
I'm more than sure that in a couple of years, if not maybe in a year or two, you're going to see more of Fran Silvestre everywhere because people are starting to know the architect, especially here in the Costa del Sol, what he does and the way that we build. So I could say that we're not just focusing on the design, but also we're focusing on one of the main topics nowadays, which is sustainability. So we are building houses that are 100% zero consumption, not only in energy efficiency, but also in water.
That sounds amazing. What does that even mean? Does that mean I don't get any bills?
Exactly.
Well, apart from the standing charges, or
There is no charge.
Oh.
I mean,
This sounds great.
let me explain. So basically, when you build houses with the system that we are actually introducing in any future house, beside the ones that we have right now for sale, one thing that is for sure is you will have this zero consumption in terms of energy.
Yeah.
So to achieve the zero consumption, we can use solar panels,
Yeah.
which has been used for the past 10 years or 15 years. But beside that, we are introducing two more other systems, which is the geothermal
yeah,
system and the batteries system.
okay,
So to achieve zero consumption, you need to have the three systems working together. So solar panels, geothermal, and the batteries. And of course, something very important, technical, is to isolate the way that you build a house with a specific isolation so you keep that energy in.
yeah,
Basically, you are investing in stage 0 of the building, which is the construction, for your future to achieve the zero energy consumption.
Do you know what? It's something we're asked by every client. What's this going to cost me to run? How are you powering the electricity? Blah, blah, blah. And of course, a lot of developers want to do what you're doing, but it's an expensive thing. It's not easy and it's expensive.
It is not cheap, but along the road, it is actually efficient and it's not expensive. Of course, you're going to need to pay some maintenance, yearly maintenance, which we calculated is not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not too expensive if you divide it by 12 months, let's say. But it is easy. Now, if we're talking like, for example, apartment building, it could be expensive for the developer, the zero energy consumption.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the other thing that we are the only ones doing it right now is zero consumption in terms of water.
Okay.
So
Which again is a hot topic.
it is a hot topic. And basically, what we started thinking a couple of years ago with all this global warming, nature is a force. And a lot of us human beings, we think we can actually defy that force. We started thinking maybe we should start thinking out of the box and work with nature. So to be able to not defy the nature, which is a big force, and every time we start defying it, it pushes back.
Yeah.
We found this company that actually exists. It's been existing for a while, that provides water, but not from the tap, normal connection from the government, etc. So the system basically consists in three things. One is the collection of the water, which is from the atmosphere. And for that, you need a specific machine that collects the particles from the atmosphere, and it's from the condensation. Again, global warming.
Yeah.
And I believe this year everybody will say we had the worst summer in terms of humidity.
True.
So we could have collected the water from the humidity. And then there is another system that has been existing also, which is the recycling of the gray waters. So basically, there is that system that will be put in place in the property to recollect your water, filter it, treat it, and then put it back into the property for certain purposes
So
eventually. Recycling,
Yeah.
for example, for the gardens or for the cleaning or so. And the third system we are using is the collection of the rainwater.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to say, right, with global warming, maybe this specific one won't be working maybe in the future, in 10, 20 years. Okay, that's fine, but it makes sense also because if we don't have rain, we will have the humidity because it's too hot. So basically, the first system will be working at 100 capacity.
Yeah.
So that's how we achieve zero consumption.
Wow. And you guys have already built 4 or 5 houses, haven't you? Or are building them out now?
Correct. We sold already 5 houses.
Yeah.
2 of them actually are handed over since maybe a year. The third one is going to be handed over now, end of September, and the other two are under construction with handing over in 18 months.
Okay.
So yeah.
And all of those in Sotogrande, aren't they? And is that because the main man, he lives in Sotogrande, or he has a place there, or?
Well, basically the idea behind Sotogrande, and in the future another area that we can talk about, again, is the exclusivity. So a lot of people don't know Sotogrande the way they should know, or maybe Sotogrande area wasn't as much as advertised as, for example, Marbella. So Sotogrande is a very exclusive area. It offers everything that any other regions in the Costa del Sol offers.
But it has a different feel, doesn't it?
It does. It's grand. That's one of the things. Very secure. People
It's
leave their doors
calm and-
open.
yeah.
Very calm. It offers a lot of amenities. We have the best golf courses that you can imagine, a beautiful marina, gastronomy. It's more a family life-oriented area, you know, compared to other places.
And it's getting better, isn't it? Because I people who watch our YouTube channel will know that I've always said about Sotogrande, so sorry Sotogrande, but I've always said you go to Sotogrande if you like horses, boats and golf.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a lazy kind of thing which we used to say 20 years ago.
Correct.
Because we didn't know it that well. But now, I mean, when I've done a lot of work in Sotogrande recently, and I feel a sense of space and calm, like I said, but it's also got its own little vibe going on. It's a very special place.
Absolutely. It's a very special place. Everybody knows everybody in Sotogrande because it's small. I would highly suggest for people that they don't know as much as we probably know. We've been here for a long time. We never spoke about Sotogrande maybe, but now I'm in Sotogrande.
Yeah. You're loving it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking moving to Sotogrande
Yeah,
at
why
some point.
not? Why not? Get down there.
I mean, honestly, it's amazing.
Tell me, so these works of art, which they are, these
Yeah.
works of art, architecturally inspired design pieces that are sustainable.
Absolutely.
Who are your clients? Who are you appealing to, and what sort of clients are you selling to? Is it the clients that you expected to get, or is it a completely random thing?
There are a couple of clients that we did not expect to get.
Right.
Okay, so for example, we sold to one Spanish. That's the only Spanish we have. But the rest, I have German, Swiss. We have people from Philippines.
Wow. Okay.
And this is going to be the first year in the history of Sotogrande where I could see a lot of clients from the Middle East.
Okay. Interesting.
It's very interesting, and you know, we've been in this business and we've seen
They
it.
head to Marbella, don't they?
Exactly. So I think things are shifting here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Marbella is always going to be Marbella. Marbella is always going to be in the mouth and in the thought of everybody, and we love this place. But unfortunately, lately we could see that a lot of people and clients mostly with certain, I would say, standards. Thank you. With certain standards, they are fleeing Marbella.
What about Americans?
That's another point I was going to say. We are receiving a lot of Americans. And funny enough, they're not just inquiring because of the design. They are so drawn about the sustainability.
Yeah. So tell me, how much do these things cost? These works of art that are user-friendly, sustainable, that look magnificent, how expensive are they?
Okay, well, maybe I'm going to disappoint you.
Yeah,
They're
or
not
not.
that expensive.
No, I know.
They are
but tell me.
absolutely not expensive. So, for example, right now we have 4 villas under like commercialization.
Yeah.
2 of them are starting to be built now. So we have 2 in Altos de Valderrama and 2 in La Reserva.
Okay.
In La Reserva, we have 1 exclusive one, which is Villa Noon.
Oh, the circles.
The circles,
Yeah.
my favorite
Yeah.
one, in the 15th. So 15th, just to give you an idea, it's in La Reserva de Sotogrande. So the 15th will be the equivalent of La Sagaleta.
Yeah, it's very exclusive, isn't it? It's
Very
on the hilltop
exclusive.
there.
It's the hilltop.
Lots of security.
It's 24-hour security within another 24-hour security.
Yeah.
So basically, it is the place to be nowadays.
Yeah.
So those villas, what are the prices? For example, the two I have right now in Altos de Valderrama. So Villa Stern, which means in German the star,
Okay.
we refer to it as a Y.
She still hasn't mentioned the prices, has she?
All right, the price.
No, go on. Yes, you've got Villa Stern and Villa
I'm going
Oak
down
in
that.
Altos.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna mention the price, but before
breaking me in
mentioning the
gently.
price, I'm gonna tell you what is the villa first.
Okay.
Briefly.
All right. Okay.
Briefly,
I'll let you off. Yeah.
So the villa offers 7 bedrooms.
Yeah.
We are talking 1,200 plus built square
Oh,
meters
wow.
built
Okay. That's the house. Yeah.
on a plot of 2,000 plus plots
That's a big
with
house.
these amenities: outdoor pool, indoor pool, and spa. 2 kitchens, one with always prep kitchen and the show kitchen.
Do they still call that a dirty kitchen?
We call it a
This
prep
doesn't sound
kitchen.
right. Yeah, prep kitchen sounds
a prep
nicer.
kitchen
Yeah.
is more like
It's more
nice
Sotogrande.
to say. It's more posh. So basically, with all this, what I just said. Oh, and I forgot a guest house.
Oh, why not?
All that
Yeah, yeah,
you get
yeah.
for a very good price,
Yeah.
which is 5,060,000.
Do you know what? That is, look, it's a lot of money, but it's a more than fair price, I think.
You take that villa, you bring it down here,
It's
it
10,
will
10 or
triple the
12.
price.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I
I've
think
seen villas down here that are 800 square meters
Yeah.
going for 10 million.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's
So-
it. That's very interesting.
so-
I mean, I knew the price, so I'm kind of acting a little bit here,
Okay.
but I think it's a good price.
It's a very good price. And I have to be honest with you, this is going to be the most affordable villa we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
From that point on,
The
we're-
rest of 15.
for that point on, we're talking starting price 8.8 million.
Okay. Okay.
And then, of course, Villa Noon, which is the most exclusive one,
It's the circular one.
the circle
Yeah, yeah.
one. This house has over 2,200 square meter built property.
Wow, that's big.
It's set on a plot that are nearly 5,000.
That's spectacular.
So that's huge.
Yeah,
Okay. Just the pool, it's 200 plus square meter area.
Crikey.
It's one circle.
So how
It's
much
200.
is Villa Noon if I wanted to make an offer?
Villa Noon is right now for sale at 9.8
Okay,
million.
so everything's just under the 10, which is good.
It is under the 10. However, in this specific villa, we are given 2 options because there are 5 volumes. So we have option 1, which is 9.8, and then we have the most exclusive option, which is taking one of the circles instead of having it as an outdoor space, converting it into a complete separate guest room with 2 bedrooms, kitchen, etc., etc. That price for that one is just under the 12 millions.
If I were to, I wish, if I were to buy one of your amazing villas, do I have an option to personalise it? I'm guessing there's some degree of things that I can do, but
Yeah.
do you want to be getting into lots of different options? And
I mean, there is always room to personalize.
if the timing's right.
Yeah, if the time is right. Having said that, of course, bear in mind that we're working with an artist architect, so the design cannot be changed. What we could actually change, if the client wishes, is the layouts.
Yeah.
Just also to take in consideration that if you're really looking for the open space, the real concept of open space, we're doing it. Because this is one of the particularities that Fran Silvestre actually has achieved as an architect. You don't have any pillars in the middle of the houses, so everything is open. We do use certain pillars that are actually included into the design, and you don't even see
You
them.
don't see them, yeah.
So,
Very clever.
but everything is open. But yes, there is always room for customization.
And if I bring a client to you, what can they expect as part of the experience of buying with Cork Oak Mansion? Do we go and get our hard hats on, look at plots, and sit down in offices? How does it work?
Well, the way that we like to present our houses is first and foremost giving you a little brief of who we are, what we're
concept
doing,
and-
the concept, and then we will explain the property. But we will do this in many phases. So we will show the plots, of course, and then we will sit down, we will make a good presentation with like renders and videos, etc. But before that, well, we ask our collaborators, especially if we're working with collaborators from Marbella or from abroad, we ask them to make it a journey to Sotogrande, to make it as a experience. So we want to show them what is Sotogrande first, because you know, location.
You've got to want to be there.
Yeah, there is like certain points that you have to follow when you're showing a property.
Yeah.
So you need to explain the area. If you don't know where you're going, well, how would you expect the client to know
Exactly.
what he's buying and where he buying his property? So we like to give our collaborators and the clients that little knowledge that they should know before making a decision to wanting even to see the property. So we prefer to spend 2 hours touring the client, taking them to La Reserva, for example, showing them the marina, if it's necessary, even having a boat and showing them what we do, you know, and touring them, because I think it's important.
Very important.
I can show you beautiful design, but if you don't know the area,
it's got to link into everything else, isn't it?
Yeah,
Totally,
We're
totally
selling
agree.
a lifestyle, Sean. We're not just selling a piece of art as well. So it's important, I think.
So we talked about Sotogrande,
Correct.
but in terms of branching out and expanding your
Yes.
operation, you're also looking at the second location, aren't you? Are you able to tell us any more about that?
I can tell you about this. So the expansion for the company, the next phase is La Zacaleta.
Okay. And do you feel that's like a natural next
It
place
is
to
a
be?
next natural step for us, because we're looking, as I said, for exclusive areas. We're not going to build in Sierra Blanca. We're not going to build anywhere else for now. So for us, Sotogrande, and not everywhere in Sotogrande, as you could see, we are in Altos de Valderrama and we are in La Reserva. So basically, the next step for us is La Zacaleta. And not everywhere in La Zacaleta, of course, because you know there are many sectors in La Zacaleta. So we do have a project that's going to be, I could say, I'm looking forward to start in La Zacaleta.
Okay, fantastic.
We have the design, we have the study, we have everything, we have the prices, we have everything. But I am not going to tell you more about it. But
All I will
watch out
say
for
is
it.
I've seen a render of a potential design for a house that they're thinking of building in Zagaleta, and it is, oh wow, it's kind of one of those moments when you look at it. So I'm really excited about that. If that is the final design, I think, wow, that'll be
I
amazing.
mean, honestly, right now, being a boutique developer, we want to keep it that way.
Yeah, you haven't got to consider volume really, have you?
No,
Obviously, you've got to keep your heads above water, but you don't have to build 20 a year and things like that.
This is not the philosophy behind the company. We are a boutique developer. We want to keep it very exclusive. Hence the areas. They should be very exclusive. We are not looking for quantity. We're looking for quality.
Yeah.
So that's actually our DNA, and of course, sustainability.
Yeah, of course. That's brilliant. Lily, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you. We don't do it enough.
Yeah,
I
it's been a
hope-
minute. It's
yeah,
been a minute.
I know. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's honestly,
loved
if you're
it.
thinking about buying a villa over here on the Costa del Sol in a really exclusive location with a design that you can treat as a piece of art for for your lifetime, speak to us, because we'll put you in touch with Lily. We work really well together, so we'll make sure you're looked after.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's definitely something to consider. Thanks again.
Thank you, Sean.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.